I'm a competitive Pokemon player and I played 100 Minecraft days, or roughly 33 hours of Minecraft's best Pokemon mod, Pixelmon. And this is what happened. Look, I'm not new to Minecraft and I'm certainly not new to Pokemon. In fact, during my high school days, Minecraft and Pokemon Online, the simulator before Pokemon Showdown, were the games that I played the most instead of paying attention in class. And what do I have to show for it? Yeah, let's not think about that. Anyway, to the regular viewers of my channel, don't worry, I wasn't going to just do this challenge without putting a competitive spin on it. And to the new viewers who aren't familiar with my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy this mix of a Minecraft challenge video with competitive Pokemon. And since I'm a competitive player, my goals are going to be different. Instead of seeing if I can collect shinies or legendaries or whatever, I will see if I can make a competent, competitively viable team of 6 by the end of the 100 days for the singles format. But that's not all. One of my Discord members, Soares and Croxon, is also doing this challenge. And at the end of the 100 days, we are going to duke it out with our team of 6 to see who wins. I'm also going to see how many player gym leaders I can beat. Yes, player, not NPC. These are actual competitive players managing these gyms. There's also 18 of them instead of just 8, one for every type, and an Elite Four. I'm going to preface this with, at the start of this challenge, I didn't know how difficult the player gym leaders would be, nor did I know that I can only challenge them every hour. But more on that later. Each of us doing the challenge is allowed to use any and all of the features of this Pixelmon server to obtain what they need. This includes buying and trading stuff from other players, warps to better training grounds, etc. But before we move on, if you guys want to join me, I'm playing on Pokesaga on the Pokeflash realm. The IP is on the screen right now, and there will be a tutorial in the description below if you want to know how to play with me. Alright, so what team will I try to get? Well, seeing as the National Dex and Megastones still exist in this game, I originally was going to go with a Rain Mega Swampert strategy. However, I don't know how hard it is to actually obtain Megastones in this game, so I will go for another weather that's really easy to get. I will be going for Pinkacross's top ladder Sand team minus Alomomola because hidden abilities are very hard to get in Pixelmon. You have to catch one, and there's only a 1 in 150 chance that the Pokemon you catch will actually have a hidden ability. And breeding also takes longer than in the main series games. So even if I get that hidden ability, it might be hard to chain breed until I get the optimal Pokemon. Also, every mon on this team is rare or below, so very easy to obtain. Just like Rain, Sand is a simple but strong game plan that we can run. And this team also has no legendaries, but unlike Rain, most of these Sand teams do not require a legendary to be on them, which is also pretty difficult to obtain in this mod. And even if heavy duty boots or other battle items are hard to obtain, we can definitely find other useful items to use in their place. Alright, so with all that out of the way, without further ado, let's get into day one. Day one, of course, we start off by choosing our starter, which is not going to be on the final team, but it doesn't hurt to choose the best one. This Pixelmon server is a community-run server, so there are more options than the standard starter. Each starter has a shiny and a hidden ability chance, but I don't know how high those chances are. So out of all these options, I went with Oshawott because even if I don't get its hidden ability, Hisui and Samurai could still be useful in the future thanks to its ceaseless edge attack, as spikes are very valuable in the format we're gonna fight in. Oh look, we got a shiny one, yay. Then I turned on another feature of this server, which are the missions and quests. These missions and quests give you in-game cash rewards, which you can use to buy from the shops that are available to every player. I turned on the beginning battling, catching, and mining quests because we're going to be doing a lot of those things on the way to our team of 6. I then used the server warp to go to a beach simply because I like the beach. You can warp to anywhere, so it doesn't really matter where I start, though if you are gonna start with Mudkip, you probably should make your home in the swamp, as you have a higher chance of seeing the Mega Swampert boss to get its Megastone. We also received some Pokeball vouchers, and I unfortunately got Love Balls. Really? You couldn't have given me Ultra Balls? Okay, whatever. The catching quest requires you to catch a bunch of water and normal Pokemon, which shouldn't be too hard because our new home is surrounded by them. I then built my house and went immediately into actually playing Minecraft instead of Pokemon, since I need to be able to farm metals to make more Pokeballs. Right now, so we can get into a better situation to farm items and more Pokemon, we need to catch as many Pokemon as possible, and that's exactly what we do after we're done farming materials. We even catch a Larvitar, which we could use on our final team. Wait, this nature sucks. Okay, I'll just get a different Larvitar. And with that, we just had our first certified Paul moment.
And the big winner is... Take a hike. I don't need you.
We catch some Pokemon to progress our quest, and I built my little hut on the shore, the False Swipe Hut. Day 2, we catch a Feebas, which is cool, but Milotic is mid competitively nowadays, so I'm probably not going to use it. I caught this Miltank who gave me PTSD when she used Rollout. Day 3 is a lot of the same. We just played Pokemon Go some more for a bit and started catching things left and right. Day 2, we finally find our Platinumore. Platinum is used to create all the best Pokeballs like Ultra, Dusk, and Quick Balls. And with that, we start farming some blue and yellow apricorns. Since our Mons are very underleveled, Quick Balls are really good due to their 5x multiplier when used on the first turn. This is good because we can now simply catch higher level Mons than us. We also evaluated our Oshawott for IVs and, okay, yeah, I'm probably gonna bench this. We got perfect speed, but the attack is bad and the nature is, no. Another certified Paul moment.
What'd you do that for?
There's a million Starly as strong as that one. Soon as I run across a stronger one, I'll just grab it.
Day 5, we also got some silver ore that we can use to make great balls. We harvest some yellow and blue apricorns so we can plant them near our house to farm them for quick balls. And then I spot a Shelter. Shell Smash Cloyster is pretty notorious and competitive for just sweeping whole games. And though it's long past its prime from Gen 5, we could probably make that too just because it's an easy sweeper to get. Day 6, we got our first batch of quick balls and some Pokeballs and great balls, so we go back to catching. We use Meryl since it has huge power. And we use our first quick ball on a higher level Pawniard. I don't think I'm going to use Bisharp, but the higher level is what's enticing for our adventure. Day 7 is more Pokemon Go Simulator to advance our quest. Day 8 is more Minecraft Simulator to go collect more materials, but this time we're going to build a PC so we can access more of the Pokemon we caught. But unfortunately, unbeknownst to me, that's where another challenge presented itself. You see, there's a bug from the original Pixelmon that is still in this game to this very day, and it's very frustrating. Pokemon have a chance to change their ability if they evolve, and I don't mean like how Pupitar goes from Guts to Sandstream. I mean if the pre-evolution and evolution both share the two same abilities, there's a chance it will change on evolution. That is not in the main series games and should definitely not be in this mod, but alas, we do have to deal with it. This isn't a fault of the Pokeflash server either. I want to make that very clear. This is just a long-standing bug of the original Pixelmon mod. And unfortunately, our Meryl lost huge power while evolving, which means our new Azumarill is basically useless. Hopefully I can find ability capsules from other players or shops or something. Anyways, we fight a random trainer and get bodied since they have Dragon Dance Gyarados. Then we collect some green apricorns to possibly make Dusk Balls. We find a ravine to harvest more materials from, and we use a quick ball to catch ourselves a Drillbur. And with that, we finally have a Mon that's actually going to be on our team we said we'd make. Then we finally construct our PC. And it turns out too, our Drillbur is adamant. That's the next best nature it could have been after Jolly. Now too bad it has Sand Force, but if we are going to breed something, it would probably be Drillburs, so that's not a big deal. Day 9 starts and a bunch of Wailmer appear at our house. We catch one and then our Magikarp we caught earlier evolves into Gyarados, which is sick, but it's Brave Nature, which is a plus attack nature at least, but we're probably going to use it more for riding, since you can ride Gyarados, which is pretty sick. It's at this time we spot a wormhole. I guess it's time to go to Ultra Space. Honestly, I should have thought to go here earlier with our Quick Ball since we can just warp here, but it's all good. We walk around deciding what to catch with our Quick Balls and we catch Hippowdon and Darmanitan. Darmanitan took more Quick Balls than I wanted to, but it's okay, we can make more. Then we spot a Knackle Stack which evolves into Garganacl, which is a very good Pokemon to catch, and also one of the Pokemon that's gonna be on our final team. With Hippowdon and Garganacl, we actually have a decent chip strategy between Sand and Salt Cure for now. And with that, we leave Ultra Space. And now it's day 10. Some Mons in the area have now scaled to the levels of the Mons in the party. This will accelerate our leveling up. We battle a random trainer who has Dracovish, and yeah, we got bodied. Broken Pokemon. We catch a level 65 Zangoose since it's the highest thing we've seen so far, and this will help us farm more levels. Day 11, our starter finally evolves into Dewott. Yeah, I'm still not sure if we're gonna keep using this. We go into the mountains to farm some more things and run into a Galactic Grunt. He's no match for our Garganachi, as our good friend PokeAMMD would call it, and we intentionally forfeit from this Grunt to test if we can just keep farming him for a bit, as we don't lose any money from forfeiting. Day 12, and we use our last Quick Ball on Mean Shao since it's level 49. We catch another Larvitar that's only one level away from being Pupitar, but unfortunately, its nature is trash. We return home and we run into an epic Mega Ampharos boss. Unfortunately, we are severely underleveled and we get bodied. It is then we spotted something that would change this playthrough forever. Why is Zamazenta here? I know legendaries appear randomly, but we got super lucky. We try to be cheap and not use our free Master Balls that every player is given at the beginning of the game, but unfortunately, we are forced to use our Master Ball or else we would have had to exit the battle. And with that, we have caught Zamazenta, but unfortunately, its nature is bold. We want either Adamant or Jolly. Bold would be good for body press, but some of the Pokemon in here still follow the Gen 8 learn set, so Zamazenta cannot learn body press in Pixelmon. Oh well, a level 80 legendary will surely help us collect more stuff, and I should really just stop complaining. Day 13, we go to gather more materials in a mine shaft nearby, and we even find more platinum ore to make more quick balls. Day 14, we go back home and a random legendary boss Mega Slowbro appears at our house. We decide to fight it even though we are grossly underleveled for it, and we lose several times, but luckily it's right next to our house so we can just heal. I wasn't sure if I could actually beat it, but then I remembered that Bite flinches. Our only chance to beat it is if we get a couple of howls up to boost our attack and flinch it repeatedly. Fortunately, our luck goes our way in one of the battles and we successfully defeat a legendary boss Mega Slowbro. Now, I'm not going to use Mega Slowbro since it's not that good, but it's sick that we were able to beat something way higher level than us, even if it took that many tries. Day 15, we go to the Birch Forest and we catch more Pokemon. We catch an Audino and Larvitar evolves into Pupitar. We're still probably not going to use this Pupitar, but that's cool. Drillbur evolves into Excadrill, and the bug that has a chance to swap abilities when evolving even changed it to Sandrush, which is good for us. Though again, we're probably not going to use this specific Excadrill on our final team, but we will definitely be using its nature. Day 16, we decide to obtain a Pokemon we can fly so that we can get around faster. I stack up a bunch of blocks to fight a random Staravia and we catch it and evolve it into Staraptor. And now it's time to fly. We fly across the ocean and stumble upon a sunken ship, which has a 4% chance of having a Super Rod, but unfortunately, we don't get anything. We then stumble upon a Dynamax den that's active and defeat the Dynamax Delmise to get some items. It's now day 17 and we randomly find a Team Plasma ship. Wow, that looks very elaborately built. I loot the ship for some items, including a Team Plasma outfit. Honestly, Paul would totally join Team Plasma if it means he gets stronger, so I'm down to wear this. We fight Ed, but he's too high level for us, and he has a Pokemon that beats Zamazenta, so we got bodied. But we still got some loot. We also destroyed this painting of Whitney. Day 18, we go to a savannah to attempt to get some lucky eggs from a Blissey, but that's a very rare spawn. We randomly run into a shiny Shinx and catch it. Luxray sucks, and this nature sucks, but we could still probably sell this Shinx on the global trade station for some cash. We run into a group of Rhyhorns, and we get some levels by dousing them with water. We actually got a Rocky helmet out of it. That's a really good battle item. We randomly run into a town that has a bunch of trainers, but more importantly, shops to use the cash we got from the NPC trainers to buy items, including blank TMs and TRs. Day 19, we walk around the city some more and battle some of the trainers. Unfortunately, these next 9 days of our journey are very unfruitful to our goal. I spent a good amount of time teleporting and going to various areas to find good places to trade, not knowing that there are training grounds on this server specifically for training levels. Days 19 to 28 is just kind of me wandering aimlessly, and if I had known more things earlier, I probably could have used these 9 days for something else more productive, but c'est la vie. I at least did have the idea to get 6 pickup Pokemon up to level 51, so I could at least farm some tier 2 items which are decent battle items I do need. I also caught a level 76 Lyron, so I can have another high level Pokemon to leash my lower level Pokemon with. Day 28, I begin grinding EXP in these training grounds that I can warp to. These Pokemon have good EXP yield but aren't catchable. However, they still drop the items they normally do, meaning if you kill Blissies, you have a chance to get Lucky Eggs, which doubled the EXP yield per battle. I managed to get 3 Lucky Eggs from this, so now it's time to train up my pickup item squad. I prevent the majority of these mons from evolving because 1, pre-evolutions need less XP to level up and therefore technically level up faster, and 2, I don't want them to randomly swap abilities when they evolve due to the bug. I evolved my Lyron to Aggron so it can beat these level 70 to 80 Arcanines and Charizards in the highest training ground. The mons to hit in this training ground are Garchomp, Hydreigon, Goodra, and Charizard because they have the highest EXP yield. Unfortunately, Blissies are only available on the first training ground, presumably because it'd be way too easy to level up quickly if they were on the higher level training ground. But luckily for our battling purposes, since our mons get raised to 100 during competitive battles, we just have to gather things like items and good IV Pokemon. Our training of our pickup squad goes on for a lot of days. It was then I was made aware what these keys I keep being awarded are for. You see, there are skills for everything you do, be it catching, mining, battling, etc. etc. Every time you reach a milestone, you get a key. You also get keys for voting for the server on various websites every day. My skill keys award me a god tier axe and pickaxe. This will make mining way easier. My other keys award me an EXP and an EXP share. This will speed up leveling our pickup squad. Wow, this server really knows what parts of the game are more interesting than others. I'm glad they're making the tedious work a bit easier. I do this until day 36. Day 36, I go to the places with all the tutors where you can submit tutor tickets to teach your Mon's tutor moves, just like in the main series games. The tutor tickets can be purchased from the cash shops. The move relearner though thankfully does not need a hard skill like in the old games and is free, so I teach Aggron better moves so our grinding can be a bit faster. I also teach Zamazenta Crunch and Garganachi Salt Cure and Recover. Unfortunately, Protect is a TM, so I will have to grind for that. Day 37 to 42 is basically more training until our pickup squad is all level 51. Well, 5 of them anyway, since most of these can't fight for themselves. That doesn't make our odds of getting tier 2 items the best, let alone tier 3s, but it's still pretty good. It was here I decided that I needed to get synchronized mons of every single nature. So in the main series games, using a mon with synchronize is a good way to guarantee that the mon you are catching has that nature, because there's a chance that mon will have the same nature as your mon with synchronize. Thankfully in Pixelmon, that chance is 100. So all we need to do is catch a bunch of Pokemon with synchronize and we can get any nature we want. You can also apparently change natures for some cash, but we need to save the cash we earn for other items. Anyways, the easiest thing to do is to go into Ultra Forest and catch Ralts during the day and Munas at night, because they are both very easy to catch, especially if we weaken them with False Swipe. Hey, they even tell you what ability they have before you catch them. If the Ralts traces my ability, it doesn't have Synchronize, and if the Muna forewarns my ability, it also doesn't have Synchronize. Unfortunately, I didn't realize this until quite a bit of days in, so I was actually bouncing around from biome to biome trying to catch Natus at night in the jungle and Raltses during the day. The Natus were super annoying because they can fly. Had I known earlier, I definitely could have saved a lot of days, but it was during this part where the frustration of this challenge really started to kick in. Not only was I not getting the nature I truly wanted, Jolly, but I was getting lots and lots of neutral natures. Seriously, why are there 4 neutral natures? There should be like 1 at most. On top of that, sometimes I'd run into like 4 non-synchronized Raltses in a row. I was getting caught in the RNG Tsukiyomi, and if you know anything about competitive players, there's a reason we only want to battle and not raise our mons. I ain't gonna get into that discussion in this video, but the point is, I was very tilted. Oh, also we caught Fluttermane for shits and giggles, even though we won't be able to use it in our competitive battles because it's banned. And the worst part out of all of this, I still don't have Jolly. I have Timid, I have Modest and Adamant, but no Jolly. So I had to make a choice. I would have to either keep looking for Jolly or start getting the rest of my mons for my team now. I decided to cut my losses on time and start raising my team. I turned in more keys and got more rewards, and now it was time to collect more materials because we need to get the rest of our team. Day 59 to 62, we collect more materials, though getting the good balls is way easier to get because we can mine so fast thanks to our god tools. After collecting enough materials and making more strong Pokeballs, I decided I would catch a bunch of the same mons that we need, like 5 to 10 of them, and then I was just going to use the best ones of them. I did this for all the Pokemon we're going to use except for Drillbur. We actually managed to catch a Drillbur that has 31 IVs in attack, or perfect attack. We level it up to Extra Drill in hopes of changing it to Sand Rush, but this time it stays Sand Force. Yep, just my luck. But it's okay because we're actually going to be breeding Drillbur. You see how breeding works in Pixelmon is that you need a breeding station to put them in. The breeding station needs to be above a suitable environment for that Pokemon to breed in. In a 9x9 area, each block is worth a certain amount of points to accommodate a certain type. Since Excadrill is ground and steel, we are going to need bedrock and iron to make a suitable breeding environment. Luckily, bedrock is very easy to get. I tunneled down to the lowest elevation where there's lots of bedrock, and since we can't break bedrock and bring it with us, we're going to have to put our breeding station down here. And as an exclusive feature of the PokeFlash server, you can upgrade parts of the breeding station using the in-game cash. Some of the upgrades include even having a chance that your baby has higher IVs than the parents. But sadly, we must save our cash for power items, so we don't go through with that. And with a perfect environment for both parents, the breeding will take 35 minutes. And this is why we couldn't chain breed our whole team, but at least we can chain breed our main sweeper. Also, Ditto is very difficult to get in Pixelmon because you can only get it from either failing to clone Mewtwo or a random Pokemon actually being a Ditto. The chances of that is 1 in 1,000 or 0.1%. So yeah, we're just gonna breed Drillburs. I buy a power bracer from the cash shop and we randomly picked up an Everstone. So now it's time to get breeding. At the start of day 63, we were originally going to breed this random Wooloo that I caught that just happened to have 31 HP and 30 speed, but it'd take us too long to get cakes, which are the optimal blocks for normal types to breed, so we just had another drill bird to breed with our extra drill. And while the egg is being produced, we decide to complete our mission we started at the beginning of this playthrough by battling 250 wild Pokemon and catching the remainder of our normal and water types. We of course do this while having our pickup squad so we can farm items while we complete it. This goes on until day 66. We also caught a Shelter with 30 attack IVs and skill link, so I decided to evolve it into Cloyster. Then day 67 hit, and it was here our luck was about to turn up. Keldeo randomly appeared at our house. Wow, we're so lucky. Apparently, it randomly appears near water. Keldeo may not be OU anymore, but it's still a fast special attacker that we can use. We quickly run to our chest to grab the Master Ball so no one else swipes it, and we bring our Timid Synchronizer to make sure it's timid. We catch Keldeo. These legendaries are guaranteed to have 3 perfect IVs, but unfortunately, while we did get special attack to be perfect, we got 1 speed. That's literally the only other stat we needed the most. Okay, whatever. It's still Keldeo. We're definitely using it. If we get Specs or Scarf, this Keldeo could be pretty good. On day 68, I kept grinding my missions and I got a cosmetic key. On day 69, we finally completed the battling quest we started on day 1, and we were rewarded a random choice item, a great key, and some cash. I was hoping for Specs or Ban just in case I did want to go through with Rain and Choice Ban Barraskewda, but we got Choice Scarf. Yep, this is definitely going on Keldeo. Day 70, we kept grinding the missions and we completed the catching and battling missions. I also sold the cosmetic key for 150,000 cash so we could buy more battle items. On day 71, we warped to the Nether to get a Magby that has Flame Body so we could hatch our eggs faster. On day 72, we decided to EV train Cloyster and Keldeo at the same time in speed thanks to buying 2 power anklets and having an EXP all. We also used a blank TM on Garg in order to turn it into Rock Blast for Cloyster. I would later regret this decision, but you'll see why that is soon enough. This would go on until day 74, where our Drillbur hatched. And yeah, it looks like we're still gonna have to keep breeding, but that's alright. It's here that I decide to use some cash that we got to buy a Destiny Knot from the GTS to speed things up a bit more. Then randomly, a Mega Pidgeot flies over our house, and we beat it pretty easily with Zamazenta and get its Megastone. And yeah, we're probably not using Mega Pidgeot, but it's still cool to have. Day 75, we complete EV training Cloyster and Keldeo, but sadly, I don't have a good item for Cloyster. And again, I really regret training this Cloyster up. Oh, you'll see. You'll see. Over 3/4 of the way through our playthrough, I decided to scope out the competition that is the player gyms. As I stated earlier in this video, each gym is a monotype gym, but also most of them are 3v3 singles or 4v4 doubles, and all of them follow the National Dex format on Smogon. You must also throw out your Pokemon lead first before they do. This is presumably to balance the fact that they are forced to run monotype teams, which are notoriously not good outside of water. Even with only 2 competitively viable Pokemon, I decided to just see how strong they were, and to my surprise, they were quite strong. I got bodied. The minute I saw actual competitively viable sets from the gym leaders, I knew this wouldn't be easy. Remember how I mentioned that I didn't know how strong the gym leaders were in the beginning? Yeah, this is what I meant. This unfortunately means there's no way I'm going to beat all 18 of them before the 100 days are over, especially since I have to wait an hour in between being able to challenge them, win or lose. Also, remember how I said I regret training up Cloyster? Yeah, without a White Herb or a Focus Sash, Cloyster never got to do its infamous Shell Smash sweep, just like in the Gen 5 days. It would lose the priority or get flinched or paralyzed before it could even set up. Day 77, I decided to try the Battle Tower, and let me tell you, it's way harder than any Battle Tower I've played in the mainline games. And on top of that, you can only try it for every 6 hours. But all of this just motivated me more though. I love it when things get competitive. Day 78, I decided to go back to raising the rest of my team. I also warped to Ultra Deep Space with my Timid Synchronizer and catch Glamora. We even got lucky that it has 31 speed. Why Glamora? Well, for one, most of its useful moves like Stealth Rock, Toxic Spikes, and Mortal Spin, it can learn without a tutor or a TM. I also needed something on my lineup that would still kind of benefit from Sand to take Alomomola's place. Glamora doesn't fit the same role as Alomomola, which is a bulky support pivot, but I figured having a hazard lead that's fast wouldn't hurt. I also have a red card for it. On day 80, we try our luck at the Rock Gym but get bodied because Cloyster got flinched. We then start hunting for a better Knackle to raise into a better Garganachi than our current one. On day 81, we continue to breed our Drillburs, and then day 82 and 83, I decide to look for a better Larvitar. We buy the rest of the power items so we can EV train our new mons. We also train up Keldeo sub-levels. Day 84, I try my luck at the bug gym and I let Scizor sweep me because I thought Red Card would activate even after it fainted, but it doesn't work that way, so I got bodied. I can't remember the last time I actually used the Mon on Showdown with Red Card. Day 85, we set out to get our Dragapult. Dreepies can be found at night in the savannah, but it's rare. I also decided to buy some battle items off players, such as the Focus Sash with some of our cash. To make a bit more cash, we sell our shiny Shanks and Inky. After a couple more days of searching, we finally get our Dreepy. Its IVs suck, but at this point, we have to take what we have, and at least it's the right nature and ability. We take Larvitar and Excadrill to the XP training grounds to level them up, so Excadrill can learn Earthquake, and to make sure Larvitar evolves into Tyranitar before the challenge ends. It is now day 93, and I begin to question if we will even have time to catch and EV train a Skarmory. We teach our T-Tar some moves. I luckily got Thunder Wave randomly from one of the crate drops or something. I honestly don't remember how I got this. And I take T-Tar to the move tutor area, but unfortunately, it can't learn Knockoff, even though in Gen 9 it definitely can. We will have to settle for Foul Play. Day 94, we challenge the Ghost Gym because Garg and T-Tar have a good matchup into it. Our Ghost leader leads off with Sableye. I lead with Glamora as I always do, since the challenger must send out their lead first. I think it's gonna prankster taunt me, so I swap to T-Tar, but it actually Mega Evolves. I honestly keep forgetting Megas are a thing in this National Dex format. Sableye knocks off my Chople Berry, but since I know it's magic bounce, I can't Thunder Wave it or set up hazards, so I go back into Glamora. Since Sand is up, I should definitely try to chip this Mon, so I go for Mortal Spin to poison it. Since Mortal Spin is an attacking move, it bypasses magic bounce. Sableye knocks off my Glamora, which activates Toxic Debris and places a Toxic Spike. My opponent swaps Sableye out into Mimikyu as I go for Power Gem, which breaks the disguise. I think that they're gonna set up for sure, since that's all I ever see Mimikyus do, so I go into Garganachi knowing that I can take the hit even after a Swords Dance. To my surprise, Mimikyu goes for Trick Room, which is fine with me since my other two Pokemon aren't very fast and Glamora has already done its job. I go for Salt Cure and Alolan Marowak swaps in, one of my favorite Pokemon ever. I really wish it was back in Scarlet and Violet. Since Alolan Marowak is a ghost type, it will take more damage every turn from Salt Cure in addition to the Sandstorm damage it takes. It doesn't get poison on entry, so I know its item is Heavy Duty Boots. I go for Protect to get some chip damage up as they predict me and then go for a Swords Dance. I swap to T-Tar knowing a super effective move is coming, so I sacrifice T-Tar as Marowak dies to chip. I swap Garganachi back in as they go for Mimikyu, and I just Salt Cure again. Mimikyu eats poison plus sand plus Salt Cure at the end of the turn, and I just protect the next turn, and that's a dead Mimikyu. At this point, it's basically over as I go for Salt Cure on Mega Sableye. Again, since Salt Cure is an attacking move, it bypasses Magic Bounce, and that's game. And we got ourselves the Ghost Badge. On to day 95, we catch our Skarmory, and it surprisingly has 20 IVs in every stat that I care about, so we'll take it. We also check out some of the NPC gyms who are unfortunately all level 100, and they do not raise our level to it unlike the player gyms, but luckily Zamazenta is able to at least beat the rock one, even under leveled. We EV train the rest of our team for the next 3 days, and on day 98, we challenge the electric gym since our sand core should have a good matchup against it. I lead off with Glamora again as the gym leader leads off with Rotom Wash. I really didn't want to see that since it's good against my whole team, but I go for Stealth Rock as they go for Volt Switch. A shiny Tapu Koko comes in and sets up Electric Terrain. I decide to stay in and go for Spikes as Tapu Koko takes out my Glamora. In hindsight, I probably should have just swapped to Excadrill since I know Tapu Koko can't really touch it with any coverage. But whatever, I swap in T-Tar to set up my Sand. I go for Stone Edge so that it covers Rotom Wash switching in or Tapu Koko staying in. Tapu Koko goes for U-turn and sees that I left T-Tar in and swaps in Rotom Wash, probably predicting an Earthquake. Good thing I went for Stone Edge. Rotom Wash's Hydro Pumps don't kill my special defense invested T-Tar as I try to just pelt it with Stone Edge. I miss a Stone Edge, but luckily T-Tar eventually kills Rotom. The gym leader reveals their last Mon, which is a Alolan Raichu, and it takes out my T-Tar. I am now down to just Excadrill and only one more turn of Sand. I go for Earthquake knowing that I can simply kill Alolan Raichu, but to my surprise, even under Sand, Alolan Raichu goes first and my life flashes before my eyes. I totally forgot Alolan Raichu has an ability that gives it double speed in terrain. I mean, can you blame me? When do I ever see this thing in battle besides Ranbats? Luckily, the move it chose to go for was good old Focus Blast. Focus Blast does what it always does and misses, and Excadrill gets the KO with EQ. The Sand is down and so is my double speed thanks to Sand Rush, but all that's left is Tapu Koko, and it hits me with a Grass Knot that doesn't do much, and I finish it off with an Earthquake, winning the battle and getting us our second badge. badge, the electric badge. And with only 2 Minecraft days left in the challenge, we are unable to challenge another gym leader in time. We raise our GP to Dragapult in the last 2 days, and we give it its moves, and that's the end of our 100 days. So, what did we really do in those 100 days? Well, we did end up raising 6. Actually, we were able to obtain 8 competitively viable Pokemon. Sure, the IVs aren't the best, but they are decent where it counts. Though judging Cloyster's performance, I kinda doubt I want to count it, but yeah, I'll count it, whatever. Keldeo was basically given to us by luck, but we'll take it. Now all that's left is to wait for my battle with Sorozen. Now it's time to play against my Discord member, Sorozen Croxon, who also has undergone the same challenge. We teleport to a gym to begin our 6v6 OU battle. Upon challenging and seeing team preview, I see that we both had the same idea and brought sand. Though mine has Excadrill and his has Gligar, presumably Eviolite. To be honest, I'm not surprised he also went this route. Garganacci and Titar are both very good and common Pokemon in Pixelmon. Something else that stands out to me is Sorozen's shiny Lucario. If that is special and or Mega Lucario, its priority Vacuum Wave could definitely stop our Sand Rush Excadrill sweep. And with that, I determined my game plan is to wear his team down, especially Milotic and Lucario, with Hazard and Salt Cure damage. Milotic, Gligar, and Lucario are Pokemon that can stop Excadrill from sweeping. The battle begins and I lead off with Glimmora as he leads off with Dragapult. Dragapult has a lot of sets it could run, but luckily I swapped Red Card for Focus Sash on my Glimmora, so I know I can take at least 1 hit. Dragapult goes for Shadow Ball as I set up rocks. Shadow Ball and a lack of Life Orb tells me that it's probably Specs. Since I suspect Dragapult is likely locked into Shadow Ball, I swap to Garganacci because its ability allows it to take less damage from Ghost moves. I then Protect on the off chance that it isn't Choice, and they switch into Gligar. I swap to Skarmory knowing that it's a great matchup for Gligar as Gligar sets up Swords Dance. I go for Iron Defense as Gligar reveals U-turn. Gligar now gets switch advantage, but it also hits my Rocky Helmet that I have on Skarmory, chipping it even more. Milotic comes in and reveals it has Flame Orb, which informs me that it is Marvel Scale, and that is gonna be a pain to wear down since it can recover. I swap around a bit, including swapping in T-Tar to wear down Milotic even more, and my team takes damage from its Scald. But luckily, I did not get burned a single time this battle. Sorozen sets up his own Stealth Rock and Salt Cure, and the chip wars have now begun. Eventually, my Skarmory lands a +2 body press on his Garg, and after a few more swaps, his Garg goes down. Dragapult comes in to threaten another big special attack, so I sacrifice Glimmora to get a safe switch into T-Tar. His Milotic is able to get some recovers off, but thanks to Sandstorm, my Garg takes significantly less from Scalds, and I am able to Salt Cure and eventually chip out Milotic. Lucario finally comes in, and here I could still lose if Lucario is able to get a free setup move, since Lucario can destroy my whole team if it's left unchecked. Knowing this and figuring Garg did his job wearing down Milotic, I go for Salt Cure instead of switching out to put Lucario on a timer. Lucario does indeed set up, revealing Swords Dance, and with that I'm able to protect stall it a little bit. Lucario being a steel type is immune to my sand chip, but I send in Skarmory as a final sacrifice because I know it's physical Lucario, and Lucario takes out my Skarm, but suffers Rocky Helmet and Salt Cure damage and faints. With nothing to stop my Excadrill and a bunch of sand turns to work with, my Excadrill comes in and his team is so weakened that I don't even need a Swords Dance. Excadrill cleans up the game by sweeping the remaining 3 Mons on his team. And with that, I am the victor in this 100-day challenge. Sorozen later told me that he did actually try to go for Gligar's hidden ability, but was unable to find it, and also didn't have time to evolve it. That is very unfortunate, but good on him for also going for a sand team. This battle would have definitely been a lot different if he had Poison Hero Gliscor, and also if any of Milotic's Scald Burns landed. Luckily, he did score Choice Specs during his run, as well as a modest Dragapult. And that's the end of the challenge. I had a lot of fun playing Pixelmon, and again, if you want to know how to join my server, check out the description below, and you can even use my player warp /warp FSG to visit my little hut if you want. And who knows, we may cross paths while I raise more Mons. As a competitive person, I have to be real with myself. I could have done this challenge a lot better. Most of the things that delayed me were simply not knowing everything about Pixelmon or the server perks like warp trainings or the keys. I definitely could have saved at least 20 Minecraft days if I had known about these features earlier. I'm not trying to give excuses for myself. You know, this is still my responsibility, and I'm gonna have to hold that L that I could have done more in 100 days, but maybe you, the viewer, can do a better job than me. Maybe someone better than me at Pokemon battling, or who knows more things about Pixelmon, can beat more player gym leaders than me, or even have a better team in just 100 days. But with that, this puts an end to our adventure. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to our patrons for continued support of our videos, and thank you to everyone else watching as well. And thank you so much to our platinum patrons. Thank you to Alex Sable, Anthony Belval Renault, Bingleton, Daniel Isbeast, Funky, Glitcherton, Howl, Jack G, Lord of the Rabbit, Pretzel SP, Raven Daytona Ring, Ray Ray, Skylaria, Soares and Croxon, Shiwei Miji, and Stoneface Colin for their major support of our videos. And that's all I got. See you next time, everyone.